Halloween is just around the corner, and to fully immerse yourself in the spooky season, there's nothing better than sitting down with some classic films that have made horror movie history. In today's video, we'll be counting down the top 10 classic horror movies you can't miss this Halloween. These films have stood the test of time, becoming icons of the horror genre and inspiring countless movies that came after. Get ready, and let's dive in. At number 10, we have Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, one of the first psychological horror films that established Hitchcock's reputation as a master of suspense. The film follows Marion Crane, who checks into a remote motel run by Norman Bates, with black and white cinematography, haunting music, and an unforgettable performance by Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. Psycho is a must-watch every Halloween. Another classic horror film is The Exorcist, famous for its terrifying exorcism scenes inspired by real-life events. It tells the story of a young girl possessed by a demon and a priest who attempt to save her. The terrifying scenes, haunting sound design, and groundbreaking special effects of the time made The Exorcist a supernatural horror icon. This film isn't for the faint-hearted and will make you question the existence of the supernatural. No Halloween list would be complete without John Carpenter's Halloween. This film laid the foundation for the slasher genre with its story about Michael Myers, a masked killer who returns to terrorize the town of Haddonfield on Halloween night. With a suspenseful atmosphere, chilling soundtrack, and iconic scares, Halloween is the perfect choice for the season. This 1980s horror classic introduced the terrifying character Freddy Krueger, a burnt-faced killer with a glove of razor blades who hunts teenagers in their dreams. A Nightmare on Elm Street follows a group of teens who discover that if they die in their dreams, they die in real life. With a unique concept and an iconic villain, this film has left audiences scared to fall asleep and is a must-watch classic. A masterpiece by Stanley Kubrick, The Shining is based on Stephen King's novel of the same name. It follows Jack Torrance, a writer who moves with his family to the Overlook Hotel to work as the winter caretaker, only to gradually lose his sanity under the influence of supernatural forces. With Jack Nicholson's unforgettable performance and eerie visuals, The Shining is both a psychological thriller and horror film that will stay with you long after you've watched it. Rosemary's Baby is a psychological horror film that follows the story of Rosemary, a woman who becomes pregnant and begins to suspect that her unborn child may be the offspring of the devil. The film delves into fears of cults and loss of control over one's life. The sense of dread, tense atmosphere, and Mia Farrow's incredible performance make Rosemary's Baby one of the scariest films about the occult and the supernatural. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the most violent and brutal horror films, telling the story of a group of friends hunted by Leatherface, a masked killer wielding a chainsaw and wearing a face made of human skin. This film is packed with tension and portrays the raw fear of survival. It's a classic for fans of slasher horror who enjoy intense and graphic films. At number 3 is Poltergeist, one of the most famous supernatural horror films of the 1980s. It follows a family haunted by evil spirits after moving into a new house. Strange phenomena begin to occur, from chairs moving on their own to a TV screen filled with static. With impressive special effects and a gripping story, Poltergeist is a great choice for Halloween. Ridley Scott's Alien is not just a horror film, it's also one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. The story takes place on a spaceship where the crew faces a deadly alien creature. With its claustrophobic atmosphere and the horror of facing an uncontrollable threat, Alien instills fear in a completely isolated setting, making it a unique and unforgettable experience. And at the top of the list is The Silence of the Lambs, the famous psychological horror thriller about the cannibalistic killer Hannibal Lecter. The film follows FBI trainee Clarice Starling as she tries to solve a case, with the help of Dr. Lecter, with outstanding performances by Anthony Hopkins and Jodie Foster. The Silence of the Lambs is a must-watch. It's not just a horror film, but a psychological thriller that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats from beginning to end. And that wraps up our top 10 classic horror movies you can't miss this Halloween. If you're a fan of horror movies and want an intense, thrilling Halloween night, make sure to check out this list. Let us know in the comments which horror movie is your favorite, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Have a spooky and exciting Halloween.